Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another amazing episode on the Unleashing Potentials podcast. I'm your host, Bernadette, and joining me today is returning champion, Reese. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
Oh, I'm great. The sun is shining and I'm freezing. Other than that, great.
Well, it's great to be sunny and cold when you live in Alberta.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah. You used to live here. How did you find it?
Oh, I mean, I lived in central Alberta for a year of college back when I was freshly 18 out of high school.
Hmm.
And I mean, up until 2023, I think, no, 2024. I lived there for a year and a half again. Um, because I felt like I needed to be there, but
Hmm.
it's a little too conservative for me. And
Yeah.
it also, everyone I interacted with seemed to be lacking a basic breadth of knowledge
Hmm.
and just concern for other people around them. Like, I believe that as long as you're not a cold-blooded killer or a rapist, that you deserve human rights.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't care the color of your skin. I don't care your gender identity. I don't care who you sleep with as long as they're
Mhm.
consenting adults.
Yeah.
None of those things matter to me. I don't care if you're disabled. You all deserve to live happy, healthy, and loved lives.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I always felt that that was lacking in Alberta.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree. We both have that belief of human rights because you're right. You're right. Yeah. So Reese, for those who haven't seen your episode, tell us a little bit more about you and then we'll dive deeper into today's episode.
Well, for those of you that don't know me, I use my background in high-risk social services and my training as a medicine woman because thank fuck I'm Métis, to help people overcome their trauma, their overwhelm, and their burnout without the use of drugs or pharmaceuticals, actually focusing on the root origin so that we can minimize your symptoms instead of just taking care of the symptoms.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I love that. Thank you for sharing. Um, Tell us more of your journey. What got you started into the work that you're doing right now?
I mean, I grew up always wanting to be in a helping field, and whether that was the result of being a parentified child or or my personality type of just always wanting to help people and so that they didn't have to feel the struggle I felt at
Yeah,
any time.
yeah, yeah.
But the biggest turning point was actually when I was paralyzed because I could no longer take the classic route of medical school after high school and my undergrad.
Mhm.
And that's where I really had to look for alternative methods to still make a big impact in the world. And this way, I actually get to keep my culture alive while combining it with the methodologies of other present day techniques for impact and some remuneration in unifying the old world with the new.
Yeah, yeah, thank you for sharing. Yeah, and I think we need everything that you're doing because we forget what it was like to just heal from the earth. We don't spend time outside as much as we should, some of us. An example for me, growing up in Haiti, uh, I'm able to see the moon, the stars, and we used to sit around the fire and tell stories. And I still carry those memories. What are your thoughts on that? On at times, disconnecting and being outside more.
I 100%. I I I fully support it. I myself at one point even went off grid for 7 months. And I was living in a cabin that had electricity but no running water. I had to haul my water and reception was crappy, so I had to like entertain myself in other ways. I read 35 books that were all more than 700 pages long.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I hung out with my cat a lot at that time. I was going for hikes up and down the mountain.
Yeah. 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 Thank you for
Like,
sharing.
but that time it changed me because you had to learn to be still and actually sit with your own thoughts.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, thank you for sharing. On September 30th, it was, for me, it still is, National Day for Truth and Reconciliation, which we also call Orange Shirt Day. Um, I'd love to hear your thoughts and perspective on it. And
Well,
we'll go from there.
I will preface that this is my opinion. I'm definitely not speaking for everybody here,
Mm, yeah, yeah.
but it's just another performative allyship day. It's not something that was ever asked for in the 84 points on the Truth and Reconciliation Charter.
Mm-hmm,
We didn't ask for some special holiday for everyone to look like they actually care about Indigenous lives.
mm, yeah.
And it's turned into another performative day, like wearing purple on Epilepsy Day or wearing
Mm,
pink on Cancer Awareness Day.
yeah, yeah.
It's these people might be going and participating in cultural activities or listening to survivors of residential schools. And yes, that is helpful, but it doesn't actually generally make a difference in the day-to-day lives. And,
Mm,
the statistics of an Indigenous person being murdered in this country, less than every 2 minutes.
mm,
This genocide has not ended and probably won't in our lifetime, unfortunately.
mm, yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. Yeah. Um, how can I'll speak for myself, how can I continue to practice allyship? Because I have this platform. I freaking love people like you. I don't care where they're from, what language they speak. Everybody should have human rights. How can I do that? And how can other people do it, especially if they're not Indigenous?
I would say that really like extend kindness
Mm,
because it's more often than not that when I'm downtown in any city and I see a visibly Indigenous person that's homeless,
mm,
I also get to witness them experiencing harassment,
yeah.
berating, like belittling from foreigners of other countries,
Mm,
walking around like they're royalty and treating homeless people like shit. I'm
mm,
like, honey, nobody's a queen in this country.
yeah.
And if your attitude is to make fun of, belittle, yell at, like even just be physically aggressive towards homeless people, then stay home. Stay back in your mother country. Go home.
Mhm.
I don't care
Mm.
who you are. Like, don't be an asshole.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Thank you for
Because,
sharing.
like,
Yeah.
we're not sitting here raging that we want to take the country back. No, we just want equity and equality. Like,
Mm.
treat everyone how you want to be treated.
Yeah, 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 I agree. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. I used to work at two major homeless shelters here in Calgary, and I always tell people as an immigrant, I may never understand, but I'm choosing to listen, to learn, and to respect and to show honor. When I worked there, very similar of what you've shared of how people looked at Indigenous people, of what they experienced. And I didn't say anything, not because I didn't feel hurt by what I saw or understood what I saw. It's just that wherever I had to bring it up is the person in charge. He or she, would that person have made an actual change? Would they have listened to my voice? Um, at times, I think most of the time, we remain silent.
Hmm.
How can we break that silence?
In breaking the silence, you have to really just look at it all with an open mind.
Mm,
And because us Indigenous, we knew about the internment camps, the residential schools, like that's what they really are.
mhm,
I and we always knew. I was raised hearing about them. And, all of these settlers, when we came out during the pandemic about all of this,
mm,
were so flabbergasted because Canadian history has lied to them their entire lives. And most people in this country don't pursue education past high school.
mm. Yeah, 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 you're right. Yeah. Um, as an immigrant, I remember in my country hearing about Canada. Never did I hear anything about Indigenous people. Never, ever. Matter of fact, I've recently this year been learning more. I'm
Mhm.
like, what?
And
Yeah.
it's with that they did everything they could to bury it, and that's part of why still today we don't write things down. It's
Mm,
the oral spoken histories.
yeah.
And if you're not getting them from elders, or if you don't speak the tongue and they never learned English, you're kind of
Mm,
screwed.
mm, yeah.
I'm very fortunate to have grown up with a lot of elders from different nations that spoke English very fluently. But
Hmm.
that's also why I know bits and pieces of many languages that aren't my own.
Mm, that's beautiful. I love that. Yeah. Yeah, I think they should really, really, as in they, I mean all of us, government, people who have power and to teach people, especially immigrants, about the truth, the raw, authentic truth of Canada, the foundation of it.
Well, exactly. Like we shouldn't be selling Canada to every other country in the world
Mm,
as this motherland to go start a new life. Like it's
yeah.
not even a country that's affordable for people that are born here to live in. And I shouldn't laugh when I say that, but like
Yeah.
you're all being royally screwed in, oh my
Yeah.
God, start a new life. This is a beautiful, wonderful place. Like, no, it's fucking expensive. And everybody treats everybody like shit. Like
Mm.
Canada, 0 stars on Yelp.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Earlier you talked about education, and I know as it's very recent that it was passed for schools to teach about Indigenous cultures, history, and whatnot. Do you think they took too long to do that? And is it beneficial in
I
helping? What else can they do?
I mean, it's definitely beneficial
Mm-hmm.
when, for example, I was in grade 4 when the teacher was trying to, a white woman from Oregon, trying to teach from the textbook about Indigenous history, and I
Mm.
had to stand up and correct misinformation in grade 4.
Wow, that's young.
Yeah.
Wow.
And she was flabbergasted because middle-aged immigrant white lady, there's an attitude that comes with that. She was a bit of a Karen. Um,
Yeah.
and she was just floored. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
no, like your textbook is wrong. And not only are you lying about this stuff, but now you're misteaching to other people what our cultures are like.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's also not one culture. It's hundreds.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm learning. I'm like, wow. So your Métis, tell
Yes.
us more about that because I don't know. Tell us.
Well, I mean, that comes from the fuck, I want to say Red River Rebellion. And
Mhm.
if the actual lineage in my family was properly documented, I would be status and not Métis. But there's some government fuck ups in that.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
Mm,
and my reserve is out in Saskatchewan that I've never been to. Like that's where
mm,
a couple generations ago where my family was.
yeah, yeah.
And I I'm proud of them for leaving and even building nice lives outside of the culture, but I
Mhm.
hate that they had to assimilate to the point that my grandfather I does not identify as Indigenous because he spent his whole life trying to hide it.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
like, honey, this is in your blood. It's in your damn DNA. And
Yeah.
yet you sit here going, nope, no, I'm a white man. And I'm like, dude, you are red. There is
Yeah.
nothing white about you.
Yeah. 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 Thank you for sharing. Thank you. Um, what can the government do or continue to do with the help of Indigenous people to teach people the truth without hiding any of it?
Well, I think they'd have to start by rewriting the textbooks and not doing it in a graphic way in the younger years of schooling, but
Mm,
once they reach high school, I mean, teach it the same way you would the Holocaust, because that's what it was. It was genocide.
yeah. 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 Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's harsh, but
Hmm.
it's a reality.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, I remember there was a ceremony, of different Indigenous people sharing their stories and elders. I'm like, man, this shit, it hits deep. We were watching it. I had to get up here and there so I didn't cry because I felt
Hmm.
it. I
Hmm.
don't know why I feel so much of it, maybe because I've experienced that as well as an immigrant. I remember just crossing the street, minding my business, and two dudes rolled down their window and shouted the N-word.
Hmm.
I did nothing wrong. I said nothing. I was just it was daylight. I was just walking, doing my own thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And just like I can walk down the street, and as someone that has medically transitioned and is two-spirit in Indigenous culture,
Mm,
I get slurs all the time.
mm.
Fortunately, like I walk down the street with enough, I guess, giddy up in my step that most people don't ever try anything with me. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm 6'1" and I have resting bitch face to the max.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, thank you for sharing. Um, how is your transition going? And how can people learn more of your experience? I really don't know too much about it.
Right?
I
Well,
love learning, so teach me, please.
I mean, m my transition sucked. I, the medical system forgot about me on a wait list until a couple years later I called and they panicked and realized that they had forgotten me on a wait list.
Wow.
And in a time where HRT and like hormones as well as all of the surgeries to align yourself with how you actually feel on the inside are life-saving. They're not for aesthetic, they're not optional, they're not like a lady getting a nose job.
Yeah, yeah.
Like they're actually life-saving. And it would be fantastic if the government would realize that
Mhm,
because the wait times to get seen by endocrinologists and gender specialists
mhm,
are so long that a lot of people still die before they actually get to even start their transition because
mhm.
they don't survive.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know, the hate, the assaults, the danger in sex, love, and dating,
Mm,
especially politically right now. Even though I'm done my transition, my body is what it is. It's been that way for over 6 years now.
mhm, mhm.
And I, every few years, also chop all of my beautiful wavy curls off and go incognito for a while and go, no, I'm just gonna be butch for a season because then men will leave me alone. You know, short hair and tits. They go, oh, probably a man. I'm like, no, I have tits. I'm not a man. Fuck you.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, from what I'm seeing in the news, there's a lot of hate. a lot of phobia, a lot of
Hmm.
judgment, and I just don't know what to say sometimes.
Right. Well, and it all stems from a lack of education and
Mhm.
complete misinformation from bigots,
Yeah, yeah, so much. I don't understand people sometimes,
right?
of how they can hate so much and look like they understand or love. And yeah, that word, depends who say it to me. I don't believe it because I don't see it. I I don't witness it. People practicing it, if I may put it that way.
Well, exactly. You actually have to put your money where your mouth is and actually align with your values. And if your
Mhm.
actions or your words are not actually aligned with how you treat an individual or a group of people you know nothing about,
Mhm.
then no, it's not gonna be genuine.
Yeah, 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 I agree.
And I can sit there here and show love to people that I've never met. Why?
Mhm.
Because I also know the depths of the hate and what it's like to be physically or and sexually assaulted walking down a street.
Mm, yeah, yeah. I mean, look at my face. Look at my skin color. All right. Sometimes
Oh,
people,
believe me,
yeah,
I know.
yeah, I know you know. That's why it's easier to talk to you about it. Sometimes people just see my skin color and they make assumptions. They don't know me. They don't know what I do. They don't know if I'm a mother. I am a mother. They don't know anything about me. Just based on how I look, therefore I fit in the box that they take off. That's because I really don't care to fit in a box, and that really pisses people off. How about you?
Yeah, I don't like being boxed in.
Mm,
I
yeah.
mean, I'm two-spirit. I present as relatively gender fluid
Mhm,
and I'm pansexual. Don't
mhm.
care about genitals, don't care about gender. People go, "Well,
Yeah.
can you pick one of anything?"
Mm.
No.
Yeah, yeah, and that's your choice, right? Yeah, yeah. That's
Exactly,
where human
because
right comes in.
exactly. And we all deserve to just safely live our lives. And the
Mm,
fact that religion has North America more divided than anything else on racism and sexuality and all of it is ridiculous.
mm,
I mean,
yeah.
400 years ago, we didn't have Christianity in North America. I would have liked to have been alive then.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's messy. That's all I can say. It's messy. Yeah, yeah. Um, have you thought of maybe writing more books and putting out your experience in it for other people who may be going through what you're going through to learn? Maybe, because let me say this properly here. Sometimes the stuff that we go through, somebody has gone through it too. And they're just waiting for anybody, somebody, somewhere, anywhere to say something to help them get out of it.
See, and I'm in the process of finishing the trilogy that follows my life after I was paralyzed.
Mm,
I have about a third of that book to still write.
mhm,
But I've also shared the methodology of my work so that people can have a workbook to
mhm.
start before they're working with someone, whether a
Yeah.
coach or a professional,
Mm,
one-on-one. Because most of us are not ready for it the first time we sit in a
mhm.
professional's chair.
Oh yeah.
We get scared off because it was too much all at once.
Yeah.
And some people never go back after that experience, and that's not okay. But in the books, like the first one in the paralysis series covers the first 3 years and the actual lived experience of
Mm,
the abuse, the harassment, the actual experience of in and out every day living my life post paralysis.
mm,
There were times where I was working and at work I would have a customer come up to me and go, "You're really handicapped. You shouldn't be working here."
wow.
This is when I had limited movement in my affected hand.
Hmm.
and they would come up to work or come up to me at work and say shit like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, honey, if I could not be working, believe me, I wouldn't be.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not an option because we live in Canada.
Yeah. It's expensive.
Oh,
So
well,
expensive.
and they don't pay people who even get to receive disability benefits enough to actually pay their rent and eat. It's one or the other.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. It's so
That's
expensive. Yeah. 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 So, Reese, is there anything else you'd like to share with my audience, with myself, before we wrap up soon?
really, I would just say treat each other with kindness because you never know what another person's going through. And instead of looking for our differences in one another, try and find some common ground.
Yeah. 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 I agree. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. Um, where can people find you, and what other works are you doing?
Well, you can find me at my website, trauma2bliss.ca,
Mhm.
or on social media at trauma2bliss because that commonality makes me a lot easier to stalk on the internet.
Yeah. 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 I love that.
And my next book, like the final in the trilogy, should be coming out either in December or January. I
Mm.
burnt out in the middle of writing it this summer, and I've been trying to get my ass back in gear.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yes, you're keeping busy. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, 4 books and I'm not even 29.
Impressive. Impressive. Yeah,
I'm just trying to change the world, one person at a time.
yeah, yeah. Me too. And sometimes the path can be narrow, but it's needed. Yeah, yeah. Awesome. This was fun. And if I get any hate comments, I'm gonna send them to you to come help me tackle people who's doing this. You
Well,
just
I don't
never
know.
know.
I'm kind of big. That might be mean if I tackle them.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. I have one last question for you. What is the meaning of life for you?
The meaning of life for me is to leave life and everything you touch better than you found it as often as you can.
Mm, I love that. Thank you. Thank you. And I don't remember if I asked you this. Are you on social media platforms? Where can people find you and buy your books?
Well, you can easily buy my books on Amazon and actually most retailers. I
Mhm.
have seen them in Walmart even.
Ooh,
Um,
nice.
but I on social media it's just trauma to bliss. And
Mhm.
there I you can shoot me messages even if you just have questions. We don't have to work together. We can just be connected.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you. Well, Reese, thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. Thank you for who you are, what you do, and the impact that you're making in the world. Thank you.
Thank you so much for always bringing me back.
Oh, you're going to come back again soon. Just watch. Thank you. Thank you.